Hi yogis, Debo here again. Today we'll be doing some restorative yoga. So if you haven't ever done restorative yoga, it's very relaxing. The poses and movements can be very helpful in reducing stress and tension in the body, in the mind, kind of, calming the nervous system. Restorative poses are really designed to provide a sense of deep relaxation for your body, for your mind. So get started in a comfortable seated position just for a short period of time. Then I'm going to have you lie down on your back for a while. And so your mat may want to be oriented the same as mine so that as we lie down, you can kind of just look over and see what we're doing. I'm starting with my right leg in the front, and I'm sitting on a couple of blankets. You could actually sit even higher on a couple of blocks if that feels really good for your spine. We still want to have a nice, long, extended spine. So we're restoring some balance. We use props, blankets, blocks, bolsters. I didn't bring my bolster because I didn't think very many people had bolsters, but if you have a bolster, you can certainly use a bolster, especially for final relaxation. The props just help encourage you to relax. You can feel like you're being supported from the earth, from the ground, from wherever your body is. And it can be upright, it can be at an angle, it can be lying down, whatever that is, where you feel the support and the nourishment of the body. So as we begin with our breath, as we normally do, to get ourselves a little centered, a little settled, just find a nice, normal breath. Inhale through your nose, feel the belly expand, and as you exhale, contract. Let everything begin to relax. Start at the crown of your head, soften your gaze, soften your cheekbones, your jaw, your shoulders, so just kind of work your way down. I'm excited because it's springtime now. We have a lot to look forward to. The days are getting longer, the sun is shining, the temperatures are rising, the nature is melting and releasing energy into the plants and the animals and into us and the trees. And so we're going to take that energy and we're going to plant those seeds. So we have that energy to move forward and to be a little bit more creative as the spring moves forward. We've been a little bit sluggish. We've been a little bit cold. We've been a little bit very calm and heavy for the winter, as we always are. So let's look forward to maybe a little change. Let's clear out some old stagnation and find some time for renewal. And in this uncertain times, it's good to sit and be with your breath, to listen to something calm and relaxing. Maybe it's just your breath, being mindful, focusing on yourself, on your breath, on where you are right here and now, this present moment, and not going shopping, literally or figuratively. So stay with the breath for a moment. That deep breathing, it can help initiate that parasympathetic nervous system, which helps us get into that rest and digest, which is good for your digestive organs. And of course, in the springtime, we're paying particular attention to the liver and the gallbladder, and we want to help move things around in the digestive tract that have maybe gotten a little stuck, a little slowed down. And so, as you inhale and lift the fingertips up to the sky, take a little stretch up right here. Draw your hands into your heart, setting an intention for this practice. In spring, we release old and stagnant. And and we plant seeds of new intentions, plans for the future, new ideas for springtime. So cultivate a nice smooth breath, some positive energy. And then lifting those fingertips back up. Embrace this day, whatever it may be, and bring your hands back to your knees. I have my right leg in front. It doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna start circling, and your body likes to gently warm. When we're doing restorative yoga, we wanna be calm and nurturing, but yet you can still engage your abdominals. You can still squeeze some of those toxins out of your body. So we're moving with the breath. Maybe you're making this big and moving the shoulders. It feels really good to move your shoulders sometimes. We carry a lot of stress and tension, not only in the hips and the thighs, but in the neck and the shoulders. So I'm circling with the breath, rooting down with my sitting bones. You don't have to sit on anything. You can absolutely stay just on your mat. Whatever feels the best for your body. And you might even be using some blocks under your knees, like that, if that feels a little bit better for you. And then slowly make your way back to the center, making your circles a little bit smaller, until you're sitting upright again and squeezing the shoulders up by your ears and rolling them back and down. Inhale, lift them up. Exhale, roll them back down. Do that again. And then how about if we lift the elbows and start to circle them forward a little bit? Circling, exhale, squeeze the chest. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, squeeze in. Maybe the arms get a little bit bigger and bring them down, and a little bit bigger. And maybe we reverse it. And maybe do one arm at a time. Feel like you're starting to move a little bit more in your body, kind of stretching and releasing tension, tightness, irritability. Have you found yourself getting irritated because your kids are home from school, or you're my age and you're locked in your house and you can't get out because we're not supposed to? This is uncertain times here. I think we're being tested to the limit, but we can remain calm in the face of whatever goes on. I'm gonna lean back and I'm gonna pick up my toes and spread my toes, and then maybe swim out my legs a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Maybe stretching one leg then the other. If that's too much for you, you can certainly just kind of slide your feet. I'm gonna switch legs and bring the left leg in front so I can begin circling and feel balanced. I like to restore balance in the body, in the mind, in the emotions. And normally, on Fridays, I'm teaching a restorative yoga class at the Caldwell YMCA. And this kind of yoga sequencing and relaxation is available to everyone, whether you've done yoga before or not. So circle so this feels really good for you, and maybe making your circles smaller feels better. Maybe lifting your sitting bones up feels better. Maybe rooting down so that you can feel the sitting bones into the earth. We're going to start to make those circles a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller until once again we're back upright. Reaching the fingertips up to the sky, I'm going to interlace and press the palms up. Look up at the back of your knuckles. Keep pressing to the sky with your palms and bring your chin and look down. And keep pressing up. And as you bring your face to the front, turn your head to the right, turn to the left. How does your neck feel? Come all the way back, bring your hands behind your head. Lift your heart, open your elbows, press your hands into the back of your head at the base of the skull. And from here, just take a little twist, side to side, right here. And you can move your legs around if you want. You can bring them out a little further. You can switch sides again. You can take your knees up or down. I'm just twisting a little bit, side to side. I feel like I'm doing wonderful, nurturing things to my spine and my digestive system. This feels great. Now, as you make your way back, again, we're going to come back onto the mat. If you're facing this way, that's fine. You may want to turn around so that you're on the long side of your mat, so you have room to roll down and put your head on the mat. I'm going to come down to my forearms and pick up my knees in a little tabletop position. Kind of stretch one leg out and then the other leg out. And I'm engaging some belly muscles here, pulling the belly down. I don't feel like it's hard work, but it is a little bit of work. And you want to exhale and squeeze the navel to the spine. If it's too much work, you may just want to gently exchange one leg for the other. And just notice as you pick both legs up that you're kind of squeezing your belly down a little bit more. Can you gently kind of rock your knees from one side to the other? I know you're still up on your forearms, you're not lying down. So this is a little bit more work. Now, if you take it all the way down so that you're on your back, make sure you can see me in case you haven't worked with me before. We're going to take the toes straight up to the sky, and the arms are going to reach over your head like you're reaching up above, but your knuckles are on the floor. And they may not be. Your arms might be out here in midair, but your legs are straight, your toes are pointed. As we exhale, we're going to hug the knees into the belly and squeeze it, pulling the knees up as if we were bringing them underneath your armpits. And then inhale, extend the toes up and the fingertips over your head. And then exhale, squeeze them back in again. Inhale, lift it back up. Keep pressing the belly button down into the spine. Your spine is imprinted into your mat. Even when your legs are up, if your spine is arched, I want you to push it down and engage those bellies. And then again, hold it here and just take a little rock, side to side. Rocking from hip to hip, right on your sacrum. Your sacrum is that little flat spot between the hip bones. If we come back to your center, let's take both hands around your right shin, and as you extend your left leg out, either on the floor or hovering, we can start on the floor, that's fine. Curl your head and shoulders up, and then let your leg hover. And take 3 big breaths here. Go out of your mouth. Do it again. And then release down and hug the knees back in. Let's try the other side. Extend the leg out, whether it's on the floor first or it's already hovering. I know type A personality that has to work the hardest. Relax for a few moments. Lift your head and shoulders up, let your leg hover and say, and then hug both knees in again. And rock side to side. This time when you hug your right knee in, let your left leg relax to the mat. We're going to take the right arm out to the side. This toe, your right toe, is going to be on the inside of your left knee. So when you start to roll over to your left side in this supine twist, don't torque your back here. Perhaps you want to push down with your foot and move your hips over to the right side of your mat so that your right hip is stacked on your left, directly on top of one another. You also, if you're starting to pull that across, you might have the ability to go and lift your hip up. It depends. Don't hurt yourself. So as I'm dragging and encouraging this knee toward the earth, my right arm is out to the right side, and my gaze is turning toward that right arm, and I'm relaxing. And it's this little internal war between trying to get my shoulder blade to go down and my knee pops up, and trying to get my knee down and then my shoulder blade comes up. The best answer to that is to keep the shoulder blade down and to use the blankets. Look, I can use my blankets, and hopefully you got a blanket off your bed or off your couch. Get that Afghan that you didn't know what to do with that's been hanging on the back of your couch for years. And just use it to kind of support that knee, support that twist. Take another round of breath, and then slowly make your way back to the center. And I'm going to lift my hips up and bring them back to the center once again. Pull them back in, take a little rock, make sure I still feel good, and then go to the other side. So as I hug the left knee in, bringing the left toes behind the right knee, and begin to drag those knees across, I'm again gonna kind of lift up and move my hips over to the left side, just so that I'm not hurting anything. Taking your gaze to look at your left arm this time. I might use those blankets or those blocks as I encourage my knee down toward the earth. And the whole time my breath is relaxed, smooth, fluid, rhythmic. And then come back to your center. Bring both feet to the mat this time. With hands by your side, with a long spine and a long neck. I know we have this tendency to go like this, to think that we need to look up like that, when in reality, we need to elongate the neck. You still have a curve. You still have a nice curve under your neck. It feels like your chin is on your chest. But this is a good way to extend your spine. We're going to peel the spine up to bridge without looking around. So see if you can do this without looking, with just the directions. Push the belly button down to imprint your spine and begin to peel up to bridge. Now if your legs are way out, it may not feel as comfortable as if you pull the heels in right underneath your knees. And then elongate your spine, so feel like you're lengthening from the shoulders all the way out through the hips to the knees. And then slowly release all the way back down. We're going to try that again. And this time, as you inhale and peel the spine up, we're going to lift the right arm up. And as you do, we're going to turn your head to look over at the left side. As you exhale, we're going to lower the hips at the same time we lower the arm. And your face is still looking up. Push down, exhaling. Inhale, lift the left arm up as you raise your hips at the same time and turn your gaze to look over your right arm. So you're looking away from the arm that's up over your head. And then exhaling, slowly lower the arm and the spine, bone by bone. Let's try that again. Coming into that neutral spine, and then exhale, push down with the belly button and begin to lift the hips up. And as you lift the arm up, you might inhale up here at the top. Turn your gaze to look over the left shoulder, extending the fingertips. And when you're ready to exhale, lower it back down again, bone by bone, just rolling down with the spine. And then inhale, lifting up the left arm with the hips. Turn your gaze to look over the right shoulder. And when you're ready to exhale, slowly release. This time we're going to take both arms up. We're going to inhale, lift both arms up and over, just like you did when your toes are up to the sky. Knuckles may or may not touch the floor. Elongate. And then exhale, slowly lower. Hugging the knees back into the chest. Rocking side to side. Now, if you have anything going on in your back, I suggest rolling all the way over to one side before pushing yourself up. If you feel like rocking and rolling, you can certainly roll all the way up to a seated position once again. Maybe opening your feet up into that Baddha Konasana right here. And just feel a little movement. Inhale forward and exhale back. Inhaling and exhaling. Can we pick those toes up in a little boat pose? So you're still long ways on your mat. Your hands might be down. They might be back here. They might be holding your thighs. Spread your toes. Ooh, extend your toes. And then as you bring them down, we're going to come forward onto your hands and knees. That may mean you drop your knees to one side, cross your ankles, roll over to your hands and knees. If you have any knee issues at all, you may want to use one of those blankets that you have to support your knees. Our cat-cows that we love, we're going to exhale, push the floor away, energetically pushing down with the tops of your feet. And then inhale, arcing the spine. All 10 finger pads pressing into the mat. Do that again, moving with the breath. Exhale, rounding, scooping out the belly. Inhale, lifting. Head lifts, heart lifts, tail lifts. And exhale. If we make it to a neutral spine, we may want to shift our body weight from side to side. Stay facing the long side of your mat. I'll turn to the front so you can see better. You might want to shift your weight side to side. In fact, you may even want to take some little hip circles. Just kind of pushing off to one side. You can bend your elbows. Just find some movement in the body. Think gracefulness, smoothness, relaxing breath, go the opposite direction. So don't forget to go in both directions. Breathing into your space. Feeling very relaxed here. In fact, so relaxed, we could slide our fingertips forward. Child's pose, extended child's pose, where you bring your forehead down and sit your hips back, isn't always comfortable for people with issues in their knees. But this half dog or puppy pose certainly is. If you bring your elbows down, you can drop your forehead down between your elbows and start to push your hips back. Oh, you get a lovely stretch in your shoulders. And your hips stay high so that your knee doesn't bother you. If you're still having trouble getting your head down, you might think of bringing your forehead down to your block. And then if you come back up onto your hands and knees, let's take your right leg and press it back and kind of feel like you're stretching. Stretching your calf, stretching your hamstring. If you bring your hands underneath your shoulders, we'll reach the left arm forward. Kind of looks like spinal balance, and it certainly is if you lift your right leg up behind you, just for a moment, squeezing the leg strong, and then just lower it back down again. Take the left arm off to the left side. As you exhale, those fingertips are going to dive underneath your right. You're just gonna reach those fingertips out to the right side of the mat, and as you inhale, we're going to lift them all the way up as far as you can with a nice twist. And then exhale again, diving through. Inhale, lift them back up. This time as you go down, you're welcome to stay right here, or perhaps bring your head and shoulder down a little bit. Maybe all the way to the mat. Maybe stretching your right arm out. Maybe keeping it in. Maybe moving your toe off to the side. It might help with the balance. It's like a little kickstand. Threading the needle. As you come back up, let's find our way back into that little bit of a spinal balance, extending, reaching the left arm forward, the right arm back, the right leg back. I'm going to stretch this hip by taking my right toe off the left side of the mat, pushing into my right hip, and looking back at my foot. As I come back, I'm going to step my right foot up by my right thumb. Now for some people that's hard to do. Their foot might get caught here, so you can pick it up and move it forward. Or you can whoosh, circle it around. Whatever works for you. You can also use these blocks to help you so that you don't have to stay in this rounded position. You can begin to lift your heart and lengthen your spine. We want to stretch those hip flexors, so draw yourself back. My toe is way out in front of me. So as I come forward and bring the knee over the ankle, I'm going to lift the left arm up to the sky, fingertips reach, opening up the left side waist, and then back off a little bit. Check it out, see how it feels for you. Tuck the tailbone, little pelvic tilt, and then come forward again. And then come back. We'll do that one more time. Elongate, and then maybe twist across. If this is too much and you want to use your block for support. We want to feel supported here. As we come back, we'll stretch out that right leg. Looks like Ardha Hanumasana. You can keep your spine long, you can keep your hands down, you can keep them back here. And then come all the way back into that low lunge position. Pull the front leg back, hands and knees. Once again, just move around. Maybe a little corkscrew cat. Go in both directions. And then we'll take the left side. So stretch your left leg back. Push back with your heel. And then reach the right arm forward this time. Go ahead and lift it up like spinal balance, ear on the inside of the bicep. It's strong and reaching just for a moment, and then bring it back down as you move your right arm out to the right side. So now we're going to take that right arm and dive underneath your left. Coming all the way back up, inhale, big twist, open up your chest, and go where it feels right for you. You may have a little issue or range of motion issue where you can't lift your arm up any higher than that. Just do your best. Challenge your body the best that you can. We want to increase that range of motion if we're able, but we want to feel relaxed and calm. This time we're going to take it all the way through. Bring your head and shoulder all the way down. Maybe move your toe off to the side. Maybe leave it behind. Maybe that's too much for you and you want to stay up. Or use the block underneath your head. Slowly make your way back up and then find your way back into that spinal balance. Here comes our little stretch. where we move that foot off to the side. So my left toes are off the right side of the mat. I'm pushing into my left hip and looking over my right shoulder. And then coming back to step my left foot up by my left thumb or the outside or wherever I can, kind of wangling it. That's a technical term. Come all the way up. Now, bring your back hip over your back knee and stretch out your front foot. So as you take that pelvic tilt and engage those hip flexors, we're going to come forward, stretching it. And then coming back. We're going to do that again. And one more time. Here's that big stretch to the side. Big stretch over to the side. And then as you release, Ardha Hanumasana, press back, pull the toes towards your face. Maybe we use the blocks, maybe we don't, maybe we extend the spine. Try to think about drawing your shoulder blades together. Getting a nice little stretch there. And then coming back, bringing your knee back. Once again, we're going to take child's pose, a little bit longer this time. So go ahead and use your blankets if you want, or a bolster if you have it. You can even straddle them and just rest. Rest right here. Whatever feels comfortable. Don't forget to turn your face to the other side. More rounds of breath, feeling very relaxed, very calm with your breath. We're going to start to make our way up. Move them out of the way. Come back to your seated position. You can stay on the long side of the mat. And again, I'm going to bring the bottoms of my feet together. This time, I'm going to hold on to my knees and start to stretch my shoulders apart. And then come back and do that again. I'm going to switch. Hold onto your knees and pull, just like knot, except that you're seated. Stretch your shoulders apart. And let's find your boat pose again. So lift it up. Maybe you want to take a block and put right here between your inner thighs and squeeze them together and drop it to one side, then the other. Again, like we did a little earlier, maybe you can stay right here and drop your arms to the sides. Drop your arms to the sides. If you have two blocks or two books or a rolled up bath towel, you can twist side to side. It's slow. It's encouraging the digestion, the very gentle detoxification. And then slowly release. We're going to come back down again. And this time, a little bit more of a supported bridge pose. So take a block if you have it. If you don't, and you want to use your blanket, you certainly can. You can slip it underneath your sacrum and just be right here. or a block, and it can be as high as you want. Maybe it's on a higher setting. Maybe you've got 2 or a big fat book. So if you want to play this video again. Now, if I were to pull my knees up, this is a lovely, very restorative, detoxifying position to be in. You can stay here for a moment and just relax. If that doesn't feel relaxing, find a way for it to feel relaxing. I want to try to get your hips and your knees up a little bit higher. Now you don't need to lift your toes up. Just pull these in and keep your hips up as high as you can. Stand it. So fold your blanket up if you're able. So you feel like you're kind of up in midair. And just pull those in. Take a breath. As we finish up our practice today, I'm going to lead you in a little guided meditation so that you can lie down on your mat and close your eyes. So if you have a towel or an eye pillow to cover up your eyes, that would be just awesome. You can just close them if you want. If you're at home by yourself, you probably have few distractions. So as we move into Shavasana, to your final relaxation, make it as comfortable as you can. Now, for some people, lying flat on the mat is very comfortable. Perhaps taking a blanket or your bolster. And of course, folding is important, because if we have it all bunched up and you're just in a hurry, then it's going to feel uncomfortable. But if I bring this to the base of my spine, whether it's my blanket or my bolster, and in my class, my students know that they can put a block underneath and give themselves a little angle, which feels really good. If I were to recline, I would have a bit of an open chest here. Maybe I want something underneath my head. I really don't like to see this with the neck all scrunched like that. So give yourself some head support. And then if your knees need support, find more blankets or blocks or books or rolled up bath towels. And you can be right here. Supta Konasana. Opens the hips and relaxes. And if this is not feeling relaxed, find a position that is. Maybe for you, having a blanket underneath your knees and underneath your shoulders will make this a little bit more relaxing. Now, if your head is too far up and that doesn't feel relaxing, use something like another towel or a block or another blanket to give yourself a little lift. Wherever you are, close your eyes. Let your body relax into the mat. Let gravity pull you down. Let your eyes sink in the back of your head. Be calm. Be relaxed. Follow your breath in. Follow your breath out. Allow that fresh air to flow in, and the stale air releases out. You know, every time we breathe out, it's a form of detoxifying. We release out the toxins and the dryness. See if we can find balance in the breath as it comes in and flows out again. Begin to notice the rhythm of your breath. We look to achieve balance in all aspects of our life, our mind, our body. And so let your breath be balanced, in and out, noticing the rise and the fall of the belly, and how calm you feel. With each exhalation, we seem to release more tension, more tightness. Today, the first full day of spring, let's begin to plant the seeds in the garden of our mind. We first need to clear away the winter dryness and staleness, that old clutter in our gardens. How do we feel about the path that we've taken since the beginning of the new year? In the new year, we always set new intentions and we have great ideas about what we're going to do. How do we feel about it now? How are our relationships, our families, our homes, our jobs? Take a look and check in with our inner world that reflects what's happening in our outer world. When we begin to let go of what's cluttering up our space, we'll find that all that stuff isn't necessary. Then we can open up to new ideas, new aspirations with clearer minds. Our conscious garden is ready to plant those seeds of intention. What are our dreams and desires as we move forward with this spring? The seeds we plant have to be nurtured by us with fertile soils and rich ideas. We need to turn toward the light and invite in all that inspires us. What is that? What motivates us? What empowers us? What can we use to till the soil of positive energy as we move into this next season of our life? So take a few moments and allow your new intentions to help you bloom, to find your potential, to grow into your vision of your best health and well-being. As we begin to deepen the breath, we can wiggle fingers and toes to bring ourselves back to awareness. Start to move a little bit more on your mat. Whatever feels right for you. You can pull your knees back in. You can rock side to side again. Or just roll over to one side. Take a few rounds of breath in this little fetal position on your side while your eyes are still closed and while your breath is relaxed. When we feel ready, we can use both hands to push ourselves back up to a comfortable seated position again. Your eyes can remain closed and relaxed. Let your head be the last thing that comes up. Resting hands in your lap or on your knees. Long, slow, full breaths, that fresh spring air. And then gently allow your right ear to drop over to the right shoulder. The chin to the chest as the head rolls forward. And then to the opposite side, left ear to the left shoulder. And once more, the chin is on the chest. The head just hangs heavy. Slowly inhale and bring the face back to the front and center. Roll the shoulders back one time. Sweep the fingertips back up to the sky. The palms press, and on the exhalation, we draw the hands to prayer again in front of the heart. Take a long, slow, deep breath in through the nose. fill the lungs from top to bottom and hold it for a couple seconds at the top. Hold it, and then exhale very, very slowly, allowing the breath to bring balance back to the body and mind. Let's do that again. Inhale, fill the lungs, hold it a little bit longer at the top, and then exhale very, very slowly. Deep breath in, feeling calmness, remembering whatever that intention was that we set at the beginning of this practice. Exhale out any residual stress or tension or negativity. And today, just move forward and enjoy some renewed energy, perhaps a fresh perspective on the day ahead. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Have a great weekend.